Dislyte friends, my name is May, and today I'm here to introduce you to the first episode of Dislyte Science. We're gonna go over some crazy stuff. In this episode specifically, number one, we've done a couple things like this before, but I'm gonna make this into a series. We're gonna go over what is the best attack to crit damage ratio. I think that's very important to know what you should be investing your stats into, what you should be looking for when you're upgrading your relics. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the math. And yeah, most importantly, I hope everybody has fun with this video. And if you want to see more things like this, leave a subscribe, a like, a comment. Comment what you want me to do. If you have any questions about Dislyte that have way too much math behind it, I'm gonna figure it out for you. I got you. So yeah, let's get into it. Alrighty, so when we start talking about attack and crit damage, we have to use a base Esper, and for this I used, the person who everybody almost has, unless you started off with Lilying, which, yeah, if you start off with Lilying, then you're gonna have no issue playing this game anyway. But Tangshan, we're gonna be using him as a reference. I know he's not the ideal Esper to max out crit damage or max out attack, but we're going to be using him as a reference of sorts, so everybody can do this project at home if they want to. I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it, what I did, and give you some answers on what you should be doing with your Espers further on in the video. So to start off, we have 6 relics that we can add attack or crit damage to. One special one being the one that you can have up to 85% crit damage on. Also attack, you can have attack bonus on every single one. We also account for Ascension, the Resonation, attack bonuses and crit damage bonuses. The relic set, we changed between the War and it used to be called Zeus, can't remember what it's called now, but the extra crit damage relic set. We have calculated everything. Actually, I have, sorry, I'm going to say we, because we, you and I, you watching, we're a team. So basically, when we're looking at all of those numbers stacked up, we had to get an average on what the highest attack was that you could possibly get in the game, the highest crit damage you can get in the game, and then the lowest crit damage and the lowest attack that you could possibly have. Those numbers are: the lowest attack is 2,155 on Tangshan. The lowest crit damage is 175%, or 1.75. Now you're going to want to remember that it's not 450%. It is multiplied by 4.5 if you have 450. That number came out of the blue. It's not even in my notes, but just keep note of that even though it looks like, oh wow, 450%, that's going to do without 100,000 damage. No. It's 4.5 times the amount that you're doing. Right, so along with that, the max that you could have attack wise is 7,259. The max crit damage you could have is 480%, or 4.8. So doing that, we had to get those numbers multiplied with each other. So basically the lowest crit damage with the highest attack, and then vice versa, because you can't have one and have the other. You have to have one or the other. So with the highest attack possible, 7,259, multiplied by the 1.75, or the base crit damage that you could have, actually puts out a max damage output of 12,703.25. I'm probably going to round up and down numbers the rest of the video, but there are points. If you need the points, I'll put them in the comments. It's not going to matter too much, just plus or minus 1, which ain't going to do much. And then vice versa, if you have the lowest attack, but the highest crit damage, so 2,155 times 4.8, it equals out to 10,344. So right off the bat, it looks like we're supposed to just invest straight into attack. Do not worry about crit damage. However, I figured out that's not the case, and here is why. Starting off with running every single relic 1, relic 2, and using the most attack, a little bit of attack, and no attack, giving into it. That's And then same thing with crit damage. I did every single one on max, on medium, on low to see what gave us the best possible damage output. And to skip all the numbers here, basically, I'm going to tell you that when you have your relics, what you want to do is have attack, and you want to have attack bonus. And then you're going to want to enhance those to 9% or to 36, which are the two numbers that you can get from the legendary enhancements. And when you do that and give no other investment into them, and then put 480 crit damage on Tangshan, that is the best way to go. I've combined every single other way. If you have 0 attack investment and 480 crit damage, you come up with the highest number you can possibly get for Tangshan to have an attack, which is his base attack being 5,224, which is what it should be if you have no attack investment, and you also have the enhancements on there, times the 4.8, which is achievable as long as you have all 5. You know, these are flawless relics that you're putting all five bonuses onto crit damage. You're going to get a total output of 25,075 attack per hit. Obviously, this number might not adjust to in-game because of defense and how defense works, but that is the strongest number that you can get with all the math. Now, that might not be the smartest thing for Tangshan in particular. I only used him as a reference. However, when you're talking someone like Tiger Mommy or Gaius, someone who has, you don't need to invest into crit rate or anything else to make these critical hits happen. Now we're talking the strongest hits imaginable. Obviously, these hits change too when you upgrade abilities. You know, you have the, like for Tangshan's, for example, I'll show you right here. I'm recording this all live. This is not. Yeah, we'll go into here. So still using him as a reference. This one, for example, his damage increased, so 60%. So it would be 60% of the 5,224 and then times the 4.8. However, for something like this one, his middle one, 180%. Now you're getting somewhere into the 30s and almost 40% per, or 40,000 damage points per hit. So it just gets crazier and crazier the longer that you go about it. But yes, that will be how you do it. You have flawless relics, you have no investment into attack, no investment into attack bonus, and everything into crit damage, and that will give you the absolute maximum number that you can get on Tangshan in particular. And again, this is not usable for Tangshan. That's going to be an awful build, and he might get a smack or two in, but the likelihood that he hits a crit on 10%, unless you have crit rate built into there already, is very low. Having it on someone like Gaius is wild. And also the 480%, it is this number plus this number. It's not going to say 480 right here. So if you're like, that's impossible, it's both of the numbers combined. So right now, technically, he's at 375% or 3.7%. So he's getting close, but he's not quite there yet. So yeah, that is the strongest absolute that you can get in the game. And that's what you should put all your relic bonuses into, is into crit damage, and you don't have to worry about attack on specific espers like him. Well, thank you guys. I hope you guys learned something new. This is the first kind of episode I've ever done of this sort of thing, and it answers an important question of what you should be, getting yourself into as far as upgrading your relics. If you enjoyed it, let me know. If you have any other questions on what I can answer, put that down in the comments. If this was terrible, also let me know, because this is an experiment and I will take no hard feelings if you say bad stuff about what I'm doing. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.